What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about AI clip generators, specifically things like Opus clips, and there's a bunch of them out there. And quite frankly, they're all fucking garbage, and this is no disrespect to them. I think what they're doing is innovative, and I think they will continue to get farther and farther along. But as somebody who works with the largest influencers on the internet right now, specifically doing clips for people like Modern Wisdom, Cody Sanchez, the Cardones. My client roster is stacked. My company makes around 4,000 videos a month. It's called Viral Edits. If you don't believe me, I don't really care. These videos are more therapy sessions for me. That's why I call it YouTube therapy. With that said, I had to get all that out because to get people's attention on YouTube, you have to say things really fast in the first 30 seconds or 20 seconds because everyone's got a short attention span. And so some people might disagree with me on this, but I can assure you, we clip a lot. And I specifically test my own clips with Opus. And Luis does it as well. You'll see him in the back of this video here shortly. He went to the bathroom. And this is something, if you run a content agency or you're a creator, it's very tempting to pay for a service like Opus Clip to just take your long form content and magically spit it out into viral videos. And that is just not what is going to happen. You can't just use these softwares and expect them to find magically viral moments. A couple reasons for that. One is it's you. It's the person speaking. Most people in an hour podcast or an hour of creating content might, and I say might, and we know this because we've done so many clips and so many videos, and I've gotten hundreds of millions of views on all my platforms, clipping my own podcast with me and my team. You can talk for an hour, hour and a half, and you might get 5 good clips. And of those 5 good clips, one might be viral worthy. And there's a lot of factors that play into what makes it viral worthy. And for context, viral is not fucking 100,000 views. Viral is 1 million views. I saw a video on TikTok of some guy. He's like, I got 3 viral videos last month and I established Virality as 100,000 views. Bro, that's not viral. Arguably, that's a good video. Like, I'm still pissed off if I got 100,000 views. Like, these motherfuckers need to up their standards. But 1M is what I consider viral. And actually, I have friends that consider 100 million viral, and that's Adley. We're really good friends. And, so if you think 100,000 is viral, you need to hang around with people that are getting more views than you because you need to raise your standards. Anyways, back on topic of Opus Clip. I just need to set that standard because, Luis, what do you consider viral? 1 million views. I think it's good because, when you're trying to get millions of views, you want to particularly be able to do it. So if you spend your time creating an hour of content, you can't just magically expect a service like Opus Clip to find it for you. I mean, it's a cool service. It's a great idea. And I've met the people at Opus at Think Media, Sean Canal's event last year. And the irony of they said, we've had a clip, we've had multiple videos go viral with 1 million views. And then they proceeded to show me a Grant Cardone clip. And I was like, oh, that's funny. Because his team uses you and he uses us in addition to his team. So I just found that to be funny. But again, it depends on the person. It depends on who is talking. That is the true metric of virality. Is the person viral worthy? Is what they're saying viral worthy? Is what they're saying even good? Because there's a lot of people just putting an hour of content or 40 minutes of content into Opus Clip and then paying their $30, $50, or $100 a month, whatever the fuck they charge, and spits out like 50 clips. But the problem is AI right now, and it will probably get better. And I'm not saying that this is like a forever thing, but it cannot determine tonality and conviction. It can't determine passion. And when you're looking for clips and or you're speaking on podcasts and or doing stuff like I'm doing right now, you're just talking to a camera, like you need to have conviction in what you say, and AI is not depicting that yet. It doesn't know. I don't know how it will figure that out, but I'm thinking it might in the future. That was an obnoxious Gmail notification. Sorry about that. But yes, so if you're using any of these services and you're probably getting a lot of clips for your stuff, yeah, it's really good at generating a bunch of shit, a bunch of 100, 200 viewed videos. And on the off chance the clock is right twice a day, you might get a viral clip, with hundreds of clips being posted. And then if you factor that in with automated posting services, that's a whole nother thing because they will kill your views. And if you have VAs posting your videos from overseas, they are harming your views. VPNs are hit or miss. They don't always work because the app's geo-target. That's a topic for another therapy session. That's why in my company, we have manual posters. I pay around $5,000 a month to posters, maybe more. I think it's $6,000 or $7,000 now a month to people to just post the 4,000 videos that my company is producing every month. So, with that said, back on Opus Clip, these services, they just are littering garbage onto the internet, and they're a waste of your time. Like, yes, you can use the service, and if you're not posting anything at all, I guess it's okay. But even if you take your clip, and we have tested this extensively with a lot of, if you look at my Instagram right now, and I would encourage you to do, because I don't edit these, I'm not going to flash them up on the screen so you guys can see them. So you will have to trust me a little bit or do some more research, which I encourage you to do, because anytime you buy a software, you should look into it because it is a monthly service. You don't, and let's face it, we all pay for subscriptions we don't fucking use. You'll see on my page specifically right now, there's a bunch of videos with me at this table, only I'm pointed that way with this microphone in front of me, and I'm talking about car stuff. That was about, we did multiple files, like 10 to 15, 20 minutes each. We kept them on topic. This file's about cars. This file's about, relationships. And those videos were designed to try to get views. And from that session, currently, between Instagram trial reels and some of the stuff on my actual Instagram feed and TikTok, we've already garnered 1 million views from that, session that I did for like an hour or two of talking. And that was Luis, who's back there in the corner, orchestrating the clips, and me also speaking very specific hooks for those clips, and us taking some time to structure them. He took those same clips and put them through Opus Clips. And Luis, what did you find when you did that?
I got 20 clips.
He got 20 clips.
And they just gave me like good ideas on what to do.
They gave him good ideas on what to go back in and look for, but he still had to go back in and structure the clips. And I'm going to guess, Luis, that you probably already knew the clips they give you were probably going to be okay. Like, it was the same amount of time, but at the end of the day, he still had to go in and edit the videos, because if you just post the shit that Opus Clip gives you, it doesn't work. They're not good. It is kind of a thing, and I know there's people out there, and again, this is nothing. I think what they're doing is innovative, but I think it's got a long way to go before it gets there. So if you're a creator, or if you're a personal brand or a business, and you're like, I'm just going to talk to my camera and then I'm going to use Opus Clip. Or if you've seen that fucking idiot they have in their ad, like, I don't even know, like, God, I've never, there's people that have punchable faces. He's got a punchable face. Like, I'm sorry. I don't even fight people. It's not even my thing. Like, I'm not even good at it, but like, he's like, oh, it's so fucking easy to go viral using Opus. It's like, it's not, bro. It's not that easy. It's never that easy. If somebody's telling you something's easy, run away. It's not. Things can be easier with tools and software, and especially AI. AI is incredible for researching topics, going deeper on fundamentally good videos, because like the session I was talking to about the car videos, I wasn't just randomly talking about cars. We already knew I've already had like 50 car videos get 1 million views in the past. We were just recreating them in a different scene, in a different format. And oh, look, it worked. It wasn't, yes, there's editing and there's care, but at the end of the day, it comes back to me on camera speaking. It comes back to the person speaking. They're spoken with intention. They're spoken with a goal. The goal is to get views. It's to get attention, and for the people like, well, what's good is attention if it doesn't convert to leads or followers? Those are the same people trying to use Opus Clip to go viral. I promise you that. But you have to understand, again, content serves specific purposes, but at the end of the day, focusing on attention, just like my hat says, only backwards, which you're probably like, oh, that's a stupid hat. No, it's not. It makes you look at it. It gets attention. That's the whole point of it. You need to get your face out there. You need to get familiarity. Relevance is what it's called. So, if you're using an Opus, I would use it. This is how I would use Opus. This is how we kind of use Opus. If you have a long file, you run it through Opus and see what it clips of you. And then it gives you some good titles, but generally speaking, those titles don't even match up to what the clip is. So it's a little off, but you can get a good starting point, but you're still gonna have to go back into that file, find that section, because these softwares have the perfect ability to cut the clips like when they shouldn't be cut. Shout out to Alp. I'd love a sponsorship. Keep me going. And even this Rise protein. This is not sponsored, by the way. But shout out to Noel Diesel, Big Daddy Noel on TikTok. I didn't know this was his company. I just found that out. This is really good protein. Anyways, these softwares are notorious for, taking a clip. They'll make 3 clips out of something that should have been 1 clip, but it's like a piece of this clip, a piece of this clip, and a piece of this clip. Combined together might make a viral clip. And that's what it hasn't figured out yet. And maybe it will. I don't know. But when we are looking for clips, when I am trying to speak on a podcast with the intention of getting clips from a podcast to go viral, I am focusing on a few things and a few things only. Am I saying a prominent hook? And that hook's not something stupid like, oh, you got to listen to this. What I'm about to say is amazing. It's, am I saying something that gives context to what is about to be said? And then step 2 is, did I actually deliver on that context? Because podcast hosts and podcast guests are notorious for getting a good hook and part of something and then completely going off on another journey. Now, if you find yourself doing this, or your clients are doing this, or you're trying to clip yourself and you're doing this, stop. Force yourself to stay and finish points. And it's okay if you're on a podcast and you tell the host, oh, let me finish this really quick, and then I'll get to that question. But and that way when you go to clip it, you have the whole thing. And again, a lot of this pressure or stress of getting, these clips to perform is reliant on you. You are the one speaking on camera. You. It's not the editor's responsibility. It's not Opus Clip's responsibility. It's the person speaking. You have to speak with intention. You have to speak with conviction. You have to know what you're saying. You have to be an expert on certain things. And you have to have strong opinions about things. And that, at the end of the day, will outperform anything AI will ever be able to pump out for you. Because all AI can do and all Opus Clip is doing is taking what's there. Again, it's not reading the tonality and the conviction of the speaker. I'm not saying this isn't going to be a thing in the future. I don't know how AI actually works to be able to do that, but I'm thinking they'll figure something out. It'll get better. It'll get easier, but I still think we're a few years away from that ever being even a consideration of your content journey. I just talk to a camera and I put it in Opus Clip and wow, I get millions of views. It just simply doesn't work that way. And if you have your clients, or if you're talking to people, if you're running an agency and the Opus Clip conversation even comes up, I would tell you to go the other direction, because that is a giant red flag. They're going to be a horrible client, because you need clients and you need to be responsible for your own content and the effort you're putting into it. We are not in a landscape anymore where you can just outsource all of your content creation and get it to work. It's a joint venture. Whether you have an agency or you're working with an editor on your team, it's like a 50-50 thing. You got to know what to say, how to say it, so they have a good canvas to work from. Like that's it. That's the magic of virality. And I'm just, quite frankly, Opus Clip, I think CapCut has one service that does it. None of that shit is actually any good. As of right now, in July 3rd of 2025, that shit's garbage. Not good. Waste of money. But I'll keep paying for it, or Luis might. I don't know. But it's part of my company, so I'm probably gonna have to reimburse. And then that's just how it is. So I will tell you guys I would steer clear of that shit for now. I'd test it in a few more months. Keep trying it. Test yourself against it. See if it works. But yeah, that's YouTube therapy for the day. Peace.